All right, welcome everybody. So excited to be on the call today. Today's webinar is Emotions and Young Living's Feelings Kit. I know when we first started talking about advertising it, it was all about the emotions. And I realized this is going to take multiple different videos because you just can't get everything in one hit. So we're doing this, and then we're going to do another one on emotions, like a second level in November, and then another level in December, and we'll see where we are. So that gives you an idea. So this is just an intro. If you are brand new and you're just getting introduced to essential oils, then I want you to know that you can go ahead when you're done with this. If you want to get started, get back with the person who shared this link with you or who sent you to the webinar video, however you've seen it. Get back with them and they can help you be able to get started on your oily journey. If you found us by accident, you were looking for stuff and you were interested in getting started, you're brand new, you're not already a member of Young Living, you can get a hold of me personally. It's shannonhudsonwild.com, or you can go to a newhope.event@gmail.com and say, hey, I have some questions, I want to get started. So let's just jump right into it. If I can figure out how to make the screen change, that'd be great, right? There we go. All right. So the Feelings Collection features 6 different essential oil blends that inspire feelings of emotional well-being when they're diffused or applied. This particular collection that we're talking about is back in stock. Very excited about that. And this kit contains the oil of harmony, forgiveness, inner child, present time, release, and Valor 2. And I'm going to talk about each of those oils so you understand them. So what we're going to do today for our first one is we're going to go over each oil in the collection. I'm going to talk about each oil, what they do, what's unique about them, what are the oils that are in those blends. Then after that, I'm going to take you through each of the steps for using this particular set. So this, like I said, is just a beginning of what you can do with emotions and essential oils. One of the webinars that we're going to do later is emotions and the endocrine. And it is one of my favorite classes. If you have not had the opportunity to hear that before, we're probably going to do that one in December. But you can also, if you already have our hormone CD set, if you already have that, that is the first CD on that set, because I truly believe that emotions and endocrine, they are tied tightly together, and getting those ones in balance helps to balance so many other different things. So we'll be going deeper with that, and we're going to go over how you release some of that stuff that's keeping you just in that stuck pattern. So that's going to be exciting. And also remember, with all of our webinars, we make everything available on our website, shannonhudsonwyl.com. That's shannonhudsonwyl.com. And you can go on there, and not only can you re-listen to this webinar, but you can also get the PowerPoint, which you can use a couple of different ways. Even if you're brand new today and you're just taking notes, everything that I'm saying is on a note sheet. So you can read the notes and highlight the stuff you need. The second thing is that you can use this to turn around and teach somebody else. I truly believe that Young Living changes lives. I do. I know that I am not the same person I was when I was introduced to Young Living. And by knowing that, I know that we have to tell other people. People need to know that there's some different options. So let's do some of the basics right now. Emotional release basics. These are just a few things. Like, there's a ton of different things that you can do. And I want you to know, first and foremost, I think it's really important that you know that you can simply open up each and every bottle, breathe it, apply it, put it anywhere, put it in your diffuser, and the oils are going to do what the oils are supposed to do no matter what. Our body knows what to do with these beautiful, amazing essential oils. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to learn to relax and enjoy the journey. That's huge. So start playing with your oils. Don't be nervous. Don't feel like, oh, am I using the wrong way, or put too much on, or put them in the wrong spot, or not spin, turn, walk upside down, all the different things. None of that matters. Just start opening your bottles and using them. But for some things, you know, there's some basics that will really help you with some more targeted solutions. So like with my kids, to understand how you can do this so many different ways. With my kids, I'm a homeschool mom of 4. I have 3 kids that are no longer living at home. They're on their own. 2 have already finished going through college, and I'm still homeschooling 1. But I have been in Young Living since 2007. So what we did with our children is one night a week, we did a raindrops on them as they were going to bed. Now, this was not that 45-minute raindrop procedure, which we'll probably talk about in another video, but I just took those raindrop oils and I put them on their back and on their feet as I tucked them in, and each night it was a different child. So Monday, one child got it, Tuesday, the next one, Wednesday, Thursday. Then I would do my husband one night and he would do me. And then once a week, I took and I used the essential oil feeling kit, and I would apply those on the kids after they had gone to bed. So they didn't have to be awake for it, and I would just take them and put them right on their body. And we'll talk about different weird spots that you can put it, but I would just apply it right over their sheet. It doesn't actually have to touch the body, and we'll explain a little bit more on why it doesn't have to touch the body in another one. But for now, no, essential oils have frequency. There's a vibration, and whether or not they actually touch us or we just breathe them or they just go right through our little system, they touch our body and make huge differences. So here's some other things. So that's how I did it, and it worked wonderful. My kids are very well adjusted, amazing children, and the oils do what they're supposed to no matter what. And that's the reason why I tell you the simplicity. But here's some basics. Number 1, make sure you've got a quiet and relaxing location. You don't want to work with the feelings and the emotions in a chaotic setting. This needs to be somewhere relaxing. It can be quiet. If you're capable, if you can, dim the lights. Just turn them down a little bit so that there's no outside distractions. It's a lot easier to focus and get quiet in your mind when you don't have the bright lights going on. And no music. I don't understand why every time somebody does a massage, we think that we have to have music. We're such a society of TV and noise and chaos. And sometimes we just need to be able to get quiet, because if my body wants to tell me something, I got to be able to hear it. And if my mind is always going, because, we hear the song, we hear the music, we hear all those things, and it's just keeping our mind occupied. How about instead we just get quiet for a little bit? Again, you can be fully closed. Even if you're doing this with somebody else, they do not have to undress. They can lay down wherever you are, and you can apply those oils right over their energy centers. The oils do not have to physically touch the body. You can also have it where they reach out their hand and you put the oils in their hand, and they can apply the oils while they're relaxing and quiet. And the way you know when to go on to the next oil is they'll put their hand out again. So it really lets the person who's having the oils applied, it lets them really be a part of knowing when they're ready to go on to their next, because they can be quiet and go through the process as well. And take your time. Let that person determine when it is the next time. Don't chit chat with them. Don't talk with them. Don't say, so what are you experiencing? What are you feeling? Just let them, because our body, I know it's crazy, but your body knows what it needs. It knows what to do if we will just give it some basic tools. It's amazing what happens when you allow that to happen. So just be nice and quiet. No chit-chatting, no talking. Just be quiet, be in the moment. And when you're finished, allow them a few minutes of time all alone just to think and regain composure and understand you're going to probably have to repeat this process many, many times. You will. And each time you apply the oils, they work on another layer. So it's just peeling back the layers and letting their body get to where it needs to. And once it's done taking care of one thing, it's going to go on to the next. One thing I think people get confused when they're using oils for emotional release is they think that we have to relive some trauma. But that's really not necessary. Your body knows what to do. It's all frequency and vibration. So when we use an oil that resets that frequency or that vibration, the trauma, the feeling, the blockage that was there is released, and we don't even have to know the why, the how. Sometimes people get down on their just like, oh, I just feel so light. And what has happened is whatever that was that had them a little bit tore up, a little bit not in their right, working the way they're supposed to, it was able to let go. And that's real important to note. It's not something that has to be a horrible. For most people, it's a very pleasant, very quiet, it's a personal thing. It's just amazing. Just start playing with them. And know this, you can also just do the oils all by yourself. So what I did when I was first introduced to the feelings portion, I really had a hard time comprehending the emotional connection and essential oils. I could understand the physiological. I could understand the science behind it. That worked really well in my head. I got that. But I always thought, forgiveness doesn't come from a bottle. I'm a Christian. I know where forgiveness comes from. That is so contrary to my belief. And it really was a problem for me for years after I got into Young Living. I had a really hard time. And so when I first started playing with this role of using essential oils and emotions, I started with the Feelings Kit. I listened to the CD that came with it. There's also directions in the Feelings Kit now that tell you how to do it as well. But what I did is I put all of the oils in the Feelings Kit. I put them on twice a day, morning and night. I just opened the bottle, I breathed the bottle, and I just put some in my hand and I applied it to my body, and I did that for 30 days. And when I got done, I talked to my friend who I was working with, my mentor at the time, and I said, okay, I did it. I don't think anything happened. I'm perfectly perfect. I'm Mary Poppins. I have no emotional issues, right? And she's like, well, why don't you go ahead and do it again? And I did that multiple times. It was probably 3 months in a row. And I don't know at what point, I don't know when it happened, but some stuff that had happened when I was really young. I was a teenager. I noticed that I could talk about that and I wouldn't cry anymore. And I don't know when it happened. I don't know if it happened in that first 30 days. I don't know if it happened in the middle of the second 30 days. I don't know when it happened. Now, it's not that I forgot what took place. It's that I don't have an emotional reaction to what happened. And that's the difference, because it allowed me to move out of that pattern of replaying that fear of, oh my gosh, I can't be left alone because I'm scared to be by myself. And that's not the case anymore. And so understand the oils, they're going to get in there. They're going to do it. It doesn't matter how you do it. I did it wrong. I opened the bottles. I threw them on my body. I put the bottles back down. And I didn't believe they would work. I just did it because, what if? What if? So just think that through, and don't be nervous when you start playing with them. Just enjoy the process. All right. So the first one we're going to talk about is harmony. Harmony is an amazing, liberating, calming blend. It promotes physical and emotional well-being by balancing your energy centers and opening you up to new possibilities while contributing to overall feeling of well-being. Who just needs some good? You just want to feel good. That well-being, that peacefulness, that harmony, that's what harmony does, the exact title. And I love this. Think about this when you're looking through our catalog later. Look at the title on some of our blends and then use them in a sentence. As you open up your bottle and you're applying it, say, today is going to be a very harmonious day. And you put on your harmony and you start speaking, because our words have power. And when we tie that power of our words to an essential oil with that frequency, you're going to see some great things happen. And in this amazing blend, you've got rose essential oil, you've got lavender, ylang-ylang, frankincense, orange, geranium, hyssop, Spanish sage, black spruce, coriander, bergamot, lemon, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and sandalwood. You can diffuse it. Just put it in a diffuser. You can put it in your like a diffuser that you wear around your neck, especially if you go into situations and there's chaos when you're there. You go to work and it's always take some harmony, put it in your diffuser on your necklace so you're breathing it. And not only are you breathing it, but the people you're coming into contact with are breathing it. And you can see some great things happening. You can also put that on your ears, on your forehead, bottom of your feet, over your heart, the base of your neck, back of your head. You can just apply that beautiful harmony anywhere that you want. Remember, there is not a wrong way to use the essential oil. I mean, obviously don't put it in your eyes, don't stick in your ears, right? Those are things we don't want to do. But other than that, breathe them, apply them, enjoy them. Some, if it gets a little bit warm when you apply it to the body, you can put a little bit of V6 because that's a fatty oil, and that will dilute it and take some of that heat away for you. The next oil we're going to talk about is Inner Child, and I think this is one of my favorite when it comes to the emotional oils. It is a beautiful, amazing, sweet blend. It's very, very gentle, and what it does is it helps us find that our natural identity, who we were when we were a little kid, that little kid who believed they could accomplish anything, who had these desires and these dreams, and until somebody told us that we couldn't do it, we still had that hope and that belief, because those dreams, those desires, they're still inside you. And this amazing sweet fragrance just stimulates the memory response and helps us reconnect with our authentic self, the person we were before we were told we couldn't do it. To me, it is one of the first steps towards finding real emotional peace, because we get to go back to who we were, not who we think everybody else wants us to be, but me. I am Shannon. That is all I can ever be. I am Shannon when I'm at home. I am Shannon when I'm out and about. You don't get to be Shannon. I get to be Shannon. An inner child helps us identify with who that is. It helps to open the pathways to connecting to that inner self. Those things that get damaged and broken as we're told we're not capable, or you're not smart enough, or you're not funny enough, or you're not skinny enough. Inner child, man. Kids think they can look at a 2 or a 3-year-old. They're not afraid of, they think everybody loves them, and they do, because they're so sweet, they're so pure, they're so innocent. Children, they dream those impossible dreams, and we need to get that back. We need that. And this helps us reconnect with it. It is an amazing aroma. It's got orange and tangerine. It has ylang ylang and more of that sandalwood. You'll see a lot of those in there over and over again. It has your jasmine, lemongrass, spruce, bergamot, neroli, and you can take a couple drops of that in your child, and you can just deep breathe that. Again, you can put it in your diffuser. You can apply it around your navel, rub it on your chest. You can put it, between your eyebrows. You can put it on your temples, at the base of your neck. This is an amazing one. This really helps us get our good, natural, who we are, our personality traits back up and running so we feel comfortable in our own skin, being who we are. I just adore inner child. The next one, this is present time. Present time is a blend of essential oils that use strong, encouraging scents to help increase our ability to focus on the present moment. It's really important. When you're diffusing your present time, it helps you focus on the here and now so you can get beyond all the past stuff, get beyond all that and be able to move forward. I cannot change anything that happened even 15 minutes ago. I can't change anything that happened yesterday, last week, growing up. None of that. I have no control over it. And truthfully, now, in this moment right here, this is the only thing I have control over. I can dream good things for my future. I can think about and make plans and have goals, but here in this moment is where I begin creating that. It is in that present time. And this is a blend of neroli, spruce, and ylang ylang, 3 oils. That's all that's in there. And it is just an amazing set of oils that help you move forward. You can rub that right on your sternum. You can rub it, reach your hand back behind your neck and a little bit above it where the skull reaches the neck, and you can apply it there. It's a great place for it. Right on your forehead. You can also wear it on your wrists, on your neck, behind your ears. Again, it's a great one, especially if you were always reliving yesterday. You know those people that all they do is they talk about the good old days when they were in school and they were a superhero, when they had the best job, when they did that one thing that was so cool. And they're stuck there. Maybe that's you. Maybe you're stuck with that thing and you don't realize that your best days are not behind you. They're still in front of you. There is so much that is inside you that somebody is waiting to hear, see, find. There are things that inside you, there's still things that you want to do. But you've been so busy thinking about how great yesterday was, or last week, or 3 years ago, or 10 years ago, or the trauma, how bad it was. It's been so bad I can't even think about tomorrow. But now, in this moment, you are here. In this moment, there are things that you can accomplish. In this moment, you can change your tomorrow. It's right now. It's present time. And so if you find that you're one of those people that is replaying that stuff, get yourself a bottle of that present time and put it in your diffuser and put it on your body and have it going as you're drifting off to sleep, thinking about how blessed and highly favored you are, no matter what you have been, whatever's gone through. We can make changes right now in this moment. The next oil I want to talk about is forgiveness. Forgiveness is one of those oils. It's one that I said I had a hard time with in the beginning, because as a Christian, like, forgiveness doesn't come from a bottle. I know Father God, Jesus Christ, that's me. That's who I am. That's my beliefs. You don't have to agree with me to be on this webinar or use the oils or to have them work for you. But that's my belief, and I had a really hard time with that. And even as somebody who has had, we've all had garbage in our life, right? We've all been through traumas. Some of us have had some really bad things happen in our past. We've been through some garbage. And to think that I can open up a little bottle and suddenly forgiveness is going to pour all over and it's going to be all better, it was hard for me to swallow. But when you look at the oils that are in this beautiful bottle of forgiveness, this is a host of amazing high energy oils. You've got Melissa, geranium, frankincense, sandalwood. There's rose in there, coriander, angelica, lavender, bergamot. You've got ylang ylang, jasmine, heliochrysum, Roman chamomile, palma rosa, lemon. These are all super high energy, high frequency. And what happens with forgiveness is the aromas that are in your forgiveness help you have the ability to forgive yourself while letting go of the negative emotion that was tied to it. So it's such an important part of personal growth. So forgiveness is not something you do to the other person. You go up and you say, I forgive you. Forgiveness is something that you have to do inside you, that you forgive the person for what happened. You're not condoning it. You're not saying it's okay. You're not saying, do it to me again. I'm going to take it over and over. You're saying in your spirit, inside, I forgive you for that. And I'm ready to move on. I'm not going to stay in that moment where the hurt happened. Letting it go, choosing to forgive, holding that forgiveness does stuff to us. Holding unforgiveness hurts us in so many ways. The bondage that we are tied to because we won't let go of a trauma somebody did. When I'm sharing it, I'm talking with people and we're just chit-chatting and I hear somebody say, well, you don't know what she did to me. You don't know how bad it was. You don't know when they did this. And they can restate an exact memory of exactly what happened 22 years ago when that person wronged them. And they're holding it. That's a part of that living in the past. See, because you can't move forward. A lot of times the person who wronged you doesn't even know. It doesn't affect them. They've moved on. But they have you in bondage. You're letting them win. And part of that forgiveness is saying, I forgive myself for holding on to that. I forgive myself for putting myself in that position, because we replay stories. When we make a mistake, holy smoly, we are so harsh with ourselves. And we will replay it over and over and over and over and over. And every time we do that, trauma is happening again. Then you're thinking, oh, if I would have only, I should have said, I could have. Forgiveness. Seriously, get out the bottle. Breathe it in. I know for a lot of people, this happens a lot, especially with forgiveness and with release. When they open forgiveness, they don't like the smell of it. They're like, that one gives me a headache. I had one lady say, it just gives me such a bad taste in my mouth. And as we talked about some of the stuff she's been through, well, of course, because the frequency of forgiveness is trying to release some of that buildup, some of that stuff. And that stuff was yucky. It was bad. You went through stuff. It's not to negate any of the trauma. It's to say, you know what? I don't want to stay there anymore. And I assure you, you're going to have to do this one over and over, especially if it's one of those reset things. And when you hear yourself replaying the story or retelling the story, get that forgiveness out right again and say, I lovingly and willingly release anything that no longer serves me. And I learned that, I don't know, forever ago. I swear, I think it was from Kathy Farmer. She was at a class. She's my upline Royal Crown Diamond. And she taught that in one class. And I thought, wow, that is such a powerful statement. I lovingly and willingly release anything that no longer serves me. And so when those traumas, when those thoughts come up, when you're replaying it, I want you to think, I let it go. It doesn't serve me. The memory of the hurt that I went through is doing nothing to make my life better today. And then the next one, and this is the other one sometimes people feel that way about, is release. Release combines the uplifting, calming oils that stimulate an amazing sense of peace and emotional well-being, which then help us to be able to release anger and frustration. It's an amazing, soothing blend with a relaxing aroma that facilitates the ability to let go of the anger and all that built up frustration. We need to just get it out. It helps to promote harmony and balance. You can diffuse that one. It helps with repressed, holding down negative emotions. Sometimes we don't know what's going on. Release helps to release that. It helps promote overall harmony and balance in your mind and physically in your body. That's a big deal. And you can take that release and you can put it in a compress and you can put it right over your belly on your side, like underneath your ribs. You can apply that all over. You can use a lot. You can even put a nice warm towel and just get cozy and cuddle up with it. You can put it on the bottom of your feet. You can put it behind your ears. Again, release is one of those that just allows us to let it go. Just to get it out of the system and let it go. It has the beautiful high energy oils again. It's got your rose. We just talked about rose in the forgiveness. It's got ylang ylang, lavender. It's got geranium, sandalwood, grapefruit, tangerine, spearmint, lemon, blue cypress, davana. So many strong oils right in that release. It comes in the kit. It's one that I highly recommend that you use. Again, this is one of those that for some people, the smell triggers feelings that they don't like. Like, I don't like the smell. It gives me a headache. It makes me feel woozy. The taste, the what I had somebody with the forgiveness. That's all release. And knowing that anger and frustration, it's just one of those things that it partners with allowing us to forgive. All right, the next one is our Valor 2. Now, the first thing I want to tell you, because I don't think people realize how it works, when Gary reformulates an oil, so for some of you, you're brand new, and Valor 2 is the only Valor you've ever known, but obviously, if there's a 2, what did we used to have? We had a Valor. It wasn't even Valor 1 because it was the only one. And Valor is an amazing balancing essential oil, balancing in so many different ways in your body. It's a great one. It gives an amazing feeling when we're breathing that and applying that oil. And anytime Gary has to reformulate, he doesn't reformulate for the aroma. The aroma is important. He wants us to enjoy the aroma and like the aroma. But it's more important that the energy, that it has the same vibration that Valor had, because that's that balancing that it's able to do with us, emotionally speaking. So Valor 2, it has Northern Lights Black Spruce, it has ylang ylang, coriander, matrikari, Idaho blue spruce, frankincense, vetiver, cistus, bergamot, cassia, davana, and geranium. It's a completely different set of oils that are in Valor 2, because he had to make sure that even though we didn't have enough of the raw material to continue having Valor in huge amounts, that we could still have the same vibrant frequency, vibration that we had in Valor. So that's the reason when he does any of those, because we've just reformulated several of them. So when you smell the aroma in the ones that have been newly reformulated, understand it is not about the smell, it's what it does in the cell. So it's not about the smell, it's what it does in the cell. And the Valor 2 is now the Valor that is in our feelings kit, so we could get it back online. We haven't had it for over a year, and now it's back and available because he was able to make those changes for us. So it's very exciting. Valor 2 is very calming. It's an oil that you can use topically or you can diffuse it. You can put it anywhere on your body. It's a beautiful aroma, and you can wear that with you. And when you think Valor, I want you to think courage. I want you to think strength. I want you to feel like you're able to overcome anything. That is what Valor does. It gives us that courage to get out there and do what has to be done so we can move to our next. So we can face those giants that we face every day in our life. That's what Valor 2 is about doing. The next thing is, how do you put it all together? So those are the oils that come in the kit. So how do you put it all together and do it? Well, for me, I start with prayer. I do. I am a Christian. I believe the Word of God from the front page all the way to the last. The 7 days of creation, I buy that hook, line, and sinker. So I like to do it in the moment when I'm quiet, just me and Father God, using my oils and just speaking the word over the cells of my body. Now, again, you don't have to be a Christian to do that. You can do it however you want. And I know some people say, oh, that's just too simplistic. It doesn't really work. But here's the truth. We have to be able to get quiet. That quiet, how I said, turn the music off. Just stop having that noise constantly inundate you. We've got to be able to get quiet. It's so important. There's so much power in meditation. And for those people out there that are Christians, they're going, Shannon, I don't know. Meditation isn't of God. Poppycock. Meditation is in the Word of God, throughout the Word of God. He says we're supposed to meditate on His words. He says that our words are powerful, that He gives us our heart's desire. We have to get quiet and get there. So when you're putting it all together, the first thing you have to do is get quiet. And the second thing is that you have to have a desire to let go of all the stuff. Everything that's been holding you back. Those patterns that you're in and you keep doing. When you say, wow, why can't I keep trying. And we have these things we say. We need to have a desire to let it go. To say, whatever it has been, I don't know what it is. I don't know. And I'm okay with letting it go. I lovingly and willingly release anything that no longer serves me. There's nothing that I have to hold on to that I'm willing to continue in this place right now. I let it go. I get quiet. Because you can use all the oils in the world, but if you are bound and determined to hold on to your thing, like, I can't let this go. I have to retell you this horrible experience I went through. You don't understand. If you're not willing to let it go, it's going to be a constant battle. You're going to have that frustration. You're going to have that anger, and you're going to feel like you're having to be assaulted all over again. You have to be willing to. And again, get quiet. Turn off the TV. It takes some time every day to get quiet. If your body wants to tell you something, if your spirit wants to let you know, hey, this is what's going on. This is what we really need to do. And the music and the noise is on all the time. You can't. If you're going to sleep with the TV on, your mind can't even talk to you at nighttime because it hears all of these other words. Ugh. It's one of my pet peeves. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to move on now. So here you go. This is what you're going to do. Now, highest potential is not in the feelings kit, but it's a really valuable one to start with. So step 1, you're going to take Valor 2 and highest potential. You're going to put the Valor 2 on the soles of both of your feet at nighttime, along with highest potential. So just put those on. Both of these blends are amazing at helping us to erase the limited thinking. So when we put a limit on what we believe we're capable of, or on how big God is, or how much abundance there is in this world, that there is more than enough, that there's enough for overflow, that we all should be living in that overflow, that's limited thinking. Because we say things like, oh, I just don't have enough, or I'm not going to be able to do it, I can't afford it, I can't, I'm just sick, it's the way it is, it's just the hand I've been dealt. These 2 oils help erase those thoughts so that you can really see that you are an amazing, amazing, wonderful person. And you have stuff inside you that will change the world. But you can't get there when you keep having the blinders on, when you keep putting the blinders on, when you keep building the walls around you and say, this is as far as I can go, this is as good as it can get, this is my lot in life, it is what it is. That's the limiting thinking. And Valor helps to equalize your body's energy so that you have the energy to do more, so that you draw other like-minded people to you. So whether you are thinking positive or whether you are thinking negative, you're going to draw that to you. So you have to change those thoughts. One of the things I like about doing this right before bed is that you wake up in the morning and you feel more self-assured. You feel alive. You're ready to start the day. When the alarm goes off the next morning, you're able to jump out of bed and you've got a good attitude instead of hitting the snooze and life sucks and I don't want to. Just start going to bed with highest potential and Valor 2 and see what can change in your life. All right, the next one is harmony. Gary says, he who lacks confidence lacks life. And what that means is, I hear all the time, and we see these TV shows, and we watch these sitcoms, and we watch all this stuff, and how there's, the groups of the nerds, and then we've got the groups of the really pretty, snotty, mean girls, and we've got the groups of the jocks, and we have all of these different cliques. I think part of what we have to realize is we create that. If you say, I'm not allowed to go do that, I'm not smart enough, funny enough, strong enough, and then you try to step into one of the groups that you think are the popular group, like, I can't do that, I'm not smart enough, funny enough. It is the confidence that stops us. It's that lack of confidence. We're the one that is segregating us into these little groups. These groups of people that aren't good enough, smart enough, funny enough. Harmony brings balance not only inside you, in your energy centers, in your body, but it's harmony in the people around us. So that we feel like, I personally, you don't know me, so you don't know me at all, but I am an overweight woman. I was over 400 pounds when I got into Young Living. I finally got under the 300-pound mark. I'm really excited about that. I mean, God has been amazing. I've done all kinds of different things. But even at 400 pounds, there was nowhere I felt that I couldn't go. I felt that I am welcome wherever I go. I feel loved. And that it's a confidence that comes from inside. And I know harmony helps people create that. That confidence, it's what lets you go out and try skiing for the first time and jumping out of a perfectly good plane and parachuting and all those tiny things in the back of your mind that you would love to experience, but you're afraid to do it. Or even going out there and sharing Young Living with other people. We get nervous. What will they say? What will they think? And we get all nervous. Try a little Valor and harmony. It's amazing what can happen. Harmony helps with that communication between the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. So it helps us to feel more confident, creative, and just more capable of doing anything we try. I like my harmony. So play with your harmony again. It's when you can apply anywhere. I love to take that harmony and apply it to the very top of my head, right between my eyebrows, right on my neck itself, and then down through my body. I love to use it over my heart. It's a great one you can partner with joy and harmony. Those are two great ones you can put together, also right over the heart. All right, the next oil is forgiveness. Forgiveness. Forgiveness isn't something, again, that we do for other person. This is something we do for ourselves. Unforgiveness eats away at us. It holds us in that pattern like a plane waiting to lift off. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is ourselves. We beat ourselves up over past mistakes. We play our stories over and over and over in our mind until it literally creates a pathway. And that pathway is what turns into a habit. So when we say those words, we talked about this already, when we say, ugh, why do I always? And there's something at the end of that statement that you always end up doing, no matter how good your intentions are, you end up doing that thing. That's because you created those pathways. Forgiveness helps us to tear down the pathways. It helps us to let go of that cycle so we can literally create new pathways, which helps us to create new habits, which allows us to move forward in our life. It's like they go back to back to back. I truly believe unforgiveness is one of the most common roots of physical, emotional, spiritual, and even financial blockage. I really do. I think some of those are handed down from generation to generation to generation, and we believe we are stuck there, and then nobody else knows what it's like to be our particular person, to be me. They don't get it. But it's that unforgiveness that's passed down. It just ties in there. And you know families that just hold on to everything. They just do. And it is a blockage. It is a curse that is handed down. And we can change that frequency. We can. You can apply your forgiveness oil around your navel, put it on with the right hand going clockwise several times, and think of situations where you need to forgive yourself or others. Then inhale and just apply that forgiveness oil while going through these next steps we're going to talk about. And you're going to repeat this as often as necessary. You may find that you do it and you're like, okay, I feel really good. Then 10 minutes later, you're replaying that story again. Do these steps all over again. Take the oil, rub it around your navel, right hand going clockwise. Think of it, forgive yourself. And number one, forgive yourself for allowing that person to affect your happiness. So whatever that situation is that you're having to forgive yourself for allowing them to affect your happiness. Whatever happened before. It wasn't in this moment. Let it go. Number two, forgive the other person for any harm that they may have caused you. That's just flat out. I'm not saying you condone it, but you forgive them, because holding that anger is going to hurt you, not them. And number three, give the other person permission to forgive you, because sometimes it's a two-way thing. Not always. I know bad stuff happens, but sometimes, and it does not mean you have to go to that person and say, okay, I forgive you for X, Y, Z, and I give you permission to forgive me. We don't have to do that. That is not what we're talking about. This is something between you and you. Then try to see the good in the situation. Even in one of my worst situations, I was had just started getting well, had some different issues going on, and I was hit in a parking lot. I was hit by a car. And the older gentleman had waved me on and said I could go. And then I started walking across the street, and he accidentally gunned it. He hit the gas instead of the brake. And obviously, it's a horrible situation. I broke all kinds of bones. I had all kinds of bad stuff happen. But there were also, because of that happening, first of all, the lives of that family, the entire family, that man, the daughter that was with him, all of the kids, the grandkids are all using essential oils now. We got them all using stuff, and their lives were changed. Like some amazing, beautiful stories that took place because of that encounter. Well, I wouldn't have met them. I would have had no other way to get to know them if he hadn't hit me, right? So I don't like that I got hit. That was horrible. But I would go through all of that again because of the stuff that happened for them. But on top of it, because I had been hit, they were able to, when they did testing for everything that took place with me, we ended up finding out that I had MS. So many of the symptoms that I really thought I was going crazy. I thought I was losing my mind, thought something was just wrong with me in general, and I was so depressed and feeling defeated. But because of that accident, we were able to identify the underlying problem. So then I knew what I was treating. I knew what I was praying for. I knew what I needed release for. I knew that I could study to be able to find some things I could do for that situation. So I want you to look for the good in the situation. Again, doesn't mean you condone it. It doesn't mean you say, oh, that was a good thing. I'm so glad I got hit by a car. That is never the words that come out of my mouth. But I'm just saying. And then number 5, be thankful for the experience and the lesson it taught you. Now that's a hard one. But gratitude, we have an oil called gratitude that will help with that, to get that thankfulness that you learned something in the process. And sometimes in a horrible, there's some situations that when you can't see any good. And at the end, the only thing that I've been able to come up with, at least one situation in my life, is that because I experienced it, because that happened to me, I'm able to have an understanding for other people that have been there. And I can give them a compassion that somebody that has never experienced it would be able to do. And so although I'm not thankful for that moment, for the crime that was committed to me, on me, against my will, I can be there for somebody else. I can give that TLC that they would not be able to experience. Even if they don't, I can pray for them in a way that other people haven't been there, they don't know. So sometimes that's all you can do. And again, doing this process with the forgiveness, going through those steps, is something that you're going to have to do a lot. That's something you might have to pull some other oils in, like that gratitude. Gratitude is a great one to put in there with your forgiveness. All right, the next oil we're going to talk about is release. Woo! This is let it go. You all know the song. You just sang it in your head as soon as you read it, right? Can't hold it back anymore. Release helps negative energy, because see, negative energy, it goes right into the blood, it gets to that liver, and it gets trapped. And that's that frequency, that energy that we're talking about. The liver becomes just a storage place for anger and resentment and bitterness, hatred, jealousy, envy, a host of just destructive, horrible feelings. And you can take your beautiful release after going through the forgiveness and you've said your words, you've done your thing, take release. And that's where those words, I lovingly and willingly, let go of anything that no longer serves me. Anything, whatever it was, even preconceived ideas, things I was raised with, that when I look back and I go, why would I ever have believed that lie? Why would I ever have held on to that? That's not who I am. Release, it helps let that go. It helps clean that and let's go of those stored emotions. And when we let go of stuff, then good stuff can come in. Because sometimes we are so full of that resentment that we can't see love when it's right in front of our face. We can't see friendship. We can't see camaraderie. We can't see anything good. When we watch TV or we see the news, all we see is the death and the hatred and the horror and the bad, because that's what we are drawing to us. But then there's other people that are like, man, it's an amazing world. We've got a great life. Life is good. And they can watch the same exact newscast and they will see it from a different direction. They can see a trauma happening in that moment that they go, Father God, touch those people. Be with those people with what they're going through. It's not, see, that's just the way it is. That's the world. It's That's why that forgiveness and release need to be a part of your life. Because we shouldn't feel that every time. We shouldn't feel that the world is out to get us. If you feel that way, my friend, these are great oils for you. Because the world is good. People are good. We just don't get to see that part when we're wrapped, when we're looking through those glasses of the resentment that we have built up through the years. And I also want to encourage you, when you're going through this whole feelings kit and you start doing actually any oils, even if you're brand new and you've got your everyday oils and you're putting your oils on every single day, drink a lot of water. As stuff is released and garbage happens, we need to be able to rinse it out. And you're going to need a lot of water to help your body get rid of any of that stuff. It's just a great way to be able to do that. The next oil I want to talk about is present time. When we live in the past, or even when we dwell in the future. So from either direction, we're not being productive in the present. So when I'm looking at my past and past experiences, because every time you decide to do something, so let's say you're going to do your 1090, for those of you that are out there building your Young Living team, like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to go talk to people, this is going to be great, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to share, and you say those words, and you mean it when you say it. Like, you know that this time you're going to do it. You write it down, you got the picture on your wall, you got your flyers ready, you are so excited, you're ready to do it, and I want you to know something that's happening in your subconscious as you're saying those words. Your subconscious is checking every time you've ever said that in the past. And it's looking back and it's going, okay, we said this on the 15th and we didn't do it. And we said it on the 10th and we didn't do it. And then remember, we said that back in November and we never did it. Oh my gosh, remember in July when we went out and did it and nobody took our flyer? And it's going back. And remember when I was in preschool and I said to that girl that I wanted to be her friend and she didn't want to be my friend? Oh, that made me sad. I don't want to do this anymore. And your subconscious, in seconds, checks the history, the past of every time you had an encounter talking to a stranger, of every time somebody said no to you, of every time anything like that happened. It checks it. Your subconscious comes back and says, we don't want to do that. I'm not doing that again. It was not good. It wasn't fun. I wasn't good at it. It's not something I could do. I don't know why I would even think I could. And then we wake up the next morning and we're like, oh, well, I got this I got to take care of. I've got to go do this. And we don't realize that our subconscious, our past, decided what we were going to do in this moment, in this present time, right here, right now. We don't even realize that's what happened. We make excuses. We go through all of it. And then 3 days later, we're like, oh, I was going to start handing out flyers. Why do I always, right? We're right back there. Because we're asking that same question. And so part of what happens with present time is it helps us say, it doesn't matter what happened in the past. It doesn't matter what I did 15 minutes ago. What matters is my choice, my vibration, my frequency of what I'm going to do right now in this moment. Right now. Because that's the only thing we can change. I can't change the past. I can't do anything about the future. Worrying about the future just going to stress me out. When we stress out, cortisol goes up, we freak out, and then we hide. You got flee, you're going to fight, right? You're going to fight, you're going to run, or you're going to hide. That's what happens when we get stressed, when we worry. That's what the future does. And we think about it and we think we have no control over it. But here in this moment, you can take your present time and you can say, it does not matter what happened last month. It doesn't matter what happened in my past. It doesn't matter how many times I've said I was going to do something and not do. How many times I said I was going to start a diet and not start it. The present time. That's where we change it. The present time right here in this moment, the actions that we put forth in this moment are the ones that create the future of our choice. Present time, it can partner with you. This is another one. You notice I put joy with lots of things, but you can partner joy with present time. That you're going to choose that right now in this moment. And what will begin to happen is, again, those pathways that we created that say we're a failure, those pathways that say, no, this is who I am, then, oh, this is my whole family is this way. You don't understand. You can change it. Present time helps to partner with that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that present time, put it in your hand, just rub it around a couple of times, and you're going to put that right over your thymus, right here at your throat. So from your throat all the way down between your chest, apply that and deep breathe that one in. Just keep breathing it and focus on today. Anytime you start thinking about, oh no, last time, I want you to come back to today. And if you're one of those people that, again, thinks that when you were in high school, those were the best days of your life, and you replay that great time you caught the ball and that amazing time you did X, Y, Z, and you think that was as good as it's ever going to get, I want you here in your moment. I want you to know that you can continue creating amazing things. And the thing about present time is when we really get here, when we get to present time and we start changing that frequency, that vibration, we start stepping into abundance. Abundance of time. You're living in the past. You get an abundance of time right here in the present time. You get an abundance of friends. That's where your friends are. They're right here. The new people that you're coming, there's people all around you. That's where we find them. Abundance for your business. Abundant, just feeling good, and abundance of joy. That's what happens with present time. And just begin using that oil. Again, all these different things I'm telling you, you can just take this kit, Open the bottles, take every single one out, use them every single morning and every single night before bed, and say the words, I lovingly and willingly release anything that no longer serves me. I'm open to amazing new things. And then say, as you're drifting off to bed, okay, what is it that we want to do tomorrow? What do we want to change? What do we see? And put those in so your brain, your mind, your cells, your spirit can start partnering with you for that amazing next. All right, so inner child. This is the 6th oil in this particular kit. And you know, I told you I love this. This is one of those ones that it's an oil that I resonate with. I love it. And Gary Young says, you know, when you're a child, all things are possible. There is no limitation. And at some point in our lives, when we're little, at some point we learn that all those amazing things that we think we're capable of doing, we can't do. We can't fly. We can't run. We can't be amazing. We can't be a superhero. We can't be that beautiful ballerina. We can't be a princess. And we buy into all those things. But see, there's that inner child, that person who you were supposed to be. That person with skills and talents that were given to you. Talents that you were supposed to use. Things that you thought were fun. Laughter. A little kid's laughter is infectious. When a little one starts laughing, you can't help it. You can Google, or what's it called, YouTube videos of babies laughing, and you start laughing because they have a joy that comes right from their gut because they haven't been told they're not amazing yet. And I want you to know you're amazing. An inner child reconnects us with that person, your true self, who you're supposed to be. It does. You can also partner this one with fennel. Fennel, now we have fennel vitality, and I'm so excited about that. So we have fennel and we have fennel vitality, which means we can drink our fennel, use it like a tea. And fennel is beautiful for what it does, just for allowing us to speak our own truth. You can apply that right on the neck, right here, so that we can remember who we were, what it is our heart's desire is. Man, those two partner together, they're amazing. You can take that inner child, put it right over the navel. You can rub it on the chest. You can deep breathe it. You can put it on the back of your head, right there where we talked about, where you bend, and just apply that oil and just close your eyes. Say, who am I? What is it I want? What are the things that I want to be able to enjoy? Because we're supposed to enjoy this journey. We're supposed to have fun. The word tells us that laughter does good like a medicine. Joy was supposed to be a part of our life. All right, so then here's some just honorable mentions. Some ones that are not in the feelings kit, and I wasn't sure how many I'd be able to go through. I have like 8 minutes. I try to make these stay under that 60-minute. So these are some you can just play with. And I want you to go through your catalog, and I want you to look at the different names of the oils and see how they would work for you in your personal circumstances. So abundance. Abundance was created to enhance the frequency of the harmonic magnetic energy field that surrounds us. This higher frequency creates what's called the law of attraction. So when we want to draw those abundant things, and it's not just finances, although it does change your financial situation. It's been amazing what's happened in our life. So there's a piece of it, but it's an abundance of time, an abundance of friends, abundance of so many different things. It really helps us and opens us up to a wealth of possibilities. The next one is acceptance. Acceptance stimulates the mind with oils specifically blended to promote feelings of accepting ourselves and others. Because there's some things we just can't change, right? There's some things that I have no control over what other people do, just me. And this acceptance is regardless of perceived barriers. So those walls we talked about, those reasons why we can't do stuff, acceptance, that's a part of it. And there's so much I could teach just on that one oil. It also helps overcome, get this, procrastination and denial. So you feel like you are constantly procrastinating? Try a little bit of acceptance, see what it does for you. Then we have dream catcher. That's not dream catcher. That is common sense. So then we have common sense. Common sense is a blend of oils that, how do you say it? They help with rational decision making so that you can make good decisions. And when you make good decisions, when you got that common sense, my husband says all the time, common sense is not common anymore. It's just not. But when you make good decisions, when the blend, it's a blend of blends that are in there. And when you make those good decisions, it leads to amazing wellness, purpose and abundance, which is what Young Living stands for anyways. It helps and partners with that. And then we have gathering. If you have never enjoyed the aroma of gathering, this one is an amazing, just a beautiful aroma all by itself. Like, I would wear it for perfume. It's out of stock right now. I probably shouldn't share it with you right now. But anyways, it helps us overcome the chaotic energy that is around us all over. It clouds our focus. It makes us be in this little, when we gathering, lets us expand beyond ourselves so that we can draw to us other people, other things, higher achievements. It's got galbanum, it's got frankincense, it's got sandalwood. It is an amazing oil. It helps with our emotional and spiritual purpose. It is just, it's an amazing oil all by itself without any of the other goodies to it. And then we have Dream Catcher. Now, this one right here is designed to help with dreaming and visualization. So I talk to people all the time, and I'm like, you got to picture where it is you want to go. What is it you want out of life? Because you have two options here in this world, in this life we're going through. You can either be a bit player in somebody else's dream and vision, or you can be the star of your own show. Because we create it. We are writing and creating our life. Dreamcatcher helps you with being able to visualize, to be able to see it. Because some people I talk to, they're like, I just don't have a good imagination. Then please get yourself some Dreamcatcher and start visualizing. You're going to do your vision board. We've talked about those before. Get some Dreamcatcher in your diffuser while you're doing it, because it will help expand your vision, your possibilities. When you use your dream catcher, it helps to just harness the power of what it is we want inside, those desires, those dreams. It really helps with it. It also helps us to hold on to those dreams. So we get this vision in our mind of okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is why I'm doing it. And Dreamcatcher can reignite that over and over. So you have this picture, you have this vision board. You're looking at your vision board and you're deep breathing your Dreamcatcher. You're breathing and you're like, okay. And what will start happening when you tie the two together is, even when you're out and about, you can take your diffuser necklace and just deep breathe it. And it will remind you that feeling that you have. It will give you that picture right in your head so that you're willing to do the hard things. Because there's some hard stuff in life. There's things we have to do that we don't necessarily want to do, right? That's life. Dreamcatcher, it helps us to set that. It helps us to guard against negative. Somebody else trying to take your dream, just breathe up in your Dreamcatcher. Be like, no way, this is my dream. God gave me this. I'm holding on to it. So it doesn't matter what the naysayers say, you're able to hold on to it. But you can go through the catalog and just read them, find out what they do, and then just play with them. You see some words, you go, magnify your purpose. Maybe I want to do some of that, right? So just go play with it. Don't just stay with the kit. Play with it. See what can happen for you, and then share it. So say you use a new oil and you just feel amazing. There's a feeling that you have. You're like, go on and share it. Let the rest of us know what your experiences were, because somebody else may need exactly what you are going through. I'm just saying, get out there. Again, if you're interested in getting started with Young Living, get back with the person who sent you this webinar. If you found us on your own, you can message me at anewhope.event@gmail.com, and we will get you all hooked up and ready to go. We've also got some events going on this Saturday, Saturday, October 15th. There is the Live Your Passion Rally happening all over the world. So even if you're not here in Michigan, so you can't join us at our Lunch and Learn, we're having a big potluck, and we're going to do, you've heard of speed oiling, we are doing speed systems. We're going to go through all 12 systems of the body and talk about what are the 5 basic oils and the 5 basic supplements that help with that particular system. So that's what we're doing, but you can go to Young Living's event page, and they've got a list of all the rallies going on all over the place. So hook yourself in, partner with Young Living and that passion of changing the world. We also have a big 2-day event coming on November 4th and 5th right here in Michigan. It's going to be amazing, all kinds of stuff going on. I'm also going to be in Florida here in like a week and a half. I will be in Sarasota doing an event. I will be in, where am I going? Somewhere in the middle of Florida, I don't remember, but you can go to my website, Shannon Hudson YL. All of our events are open to absolutely anybody. So if you live in that area, come play with us. If you've got people in that area, tell them to come play with us. Everybody's welcome to do anything that we do. And then what else we have? Okay, so this I scheduled this morning. Oops, cannot say that. This is a webinar we're doing this afternoon. It's going to be, I think, 5 o'clock. And this is just going to be maybe 15, 20 minutes. And we're going to talk about the things we can and cannot say. Just a little refresher, a reminder, because the other day people were kind of disputing hotly on one of my Facebook pages on what they can say on some of the different products. So I thought, let's run through that. Let's do a reminder, because every once in a while we need a little refresher on that. So it's going to be a lot of fun. What else do I have here? Oh, webinars. Next week, our webinar is going to be the Elite Express program. If you are not using this, partnering with this, teaching your people about that, you're jipping them. And then the week after that will be Shake It Up. We are going over all the different shake systems that Young Living has. So we're going to cover Balance Complete and Pure Protein, and what else do we have? The sleek shakes, and what makes each one unique, because they are each individually unique. What are the things they have in common? How can we use them, and how can we shake it up a little bit and add some extra stuff to take it down whatever health journey you are doing? We're going to talk about also just shaking up your life a little bit. So it's going to be a fun webinar. And I think that's all that we have today. I'm so glad you were here. The PowerPoint and the recording will be on my website, ShannonHudsonYL.com. Love you all, and I will talk to you at the next, whatever we have going on. Why was the sound so